This is question 3 of the British Mathematical Olympiad Round 1, Friday the 2nd of December 2016. If we look at the algebraic expressions given, we can put them into completed square form. And if we tidy up a bit, we get this. I now mark both sides by 4 to get rid of fractions, and I get 2n minus 6 all squared minus 26 equals 2m plus 1 all squared minus 41. I now 41 both sides, subtract 2n minus 6 squared, and I have a difference of 2 squares. I find it easier with the 5 physically on the right hand side, so I put that there. And I now have a factorization possible, so that 2m plus 1 plus 2n minus 6 times 2m plus 1 minus 2n plus 6 equals 5. And if I collect like terms and so on, I get 2m plus 2n, 2n minus 5 times 2m minus 2n plus 7 equals 5. Because we're dealing in integers, 1 times 5 equals 5, 5 times 1 equals 5, minus 1 times minus 5 equals 5, and minus 5 times minus 1 equals 5. And so I have got pattern A, pattern B, pattern B, pattern C, and pattern D. And so I take each of these in turn. So with pattern A, I have 2m plus 2n minus 5 equals 1, and 2m minus 2n plus 7 equals 5. And if I add those equations together, I get 4m plus 2 equals 6. Subtract 2 from both sides, and m equals 1. If I subtract those equations, I get 4n minus 12 equals minus 4. I add 12 to both sides, and I get n equals 2, and that is my first set of answers. And I now try pattern B. So I've got 2m plus 2n minus 5 equals 5, and 2m minus 2n plus 7 equals 1. If I add those equations together, I get 4m plus 2 equals 6. So once again, 4m equals 4 and m equals. If I subtract those equations, I get 4n minus 12 equals 4. So I get 4n equals 16 and n equals 4. So I now have two sets of answers. m equals 1, n equals 2, and m equals 1, n equals 4. I now try pattern C of these over on the left-hand side, and I get 2m plus 2n minus 5 equals minus 1, and 2m minus 2n plus 7 equals minus 5. If I add these together, I get 4m plus 2 equals minus 6. But then I get 4m equals minus 8. M will be minus 2. We don't want that because m and n, according to the question, have to be positive. So I now try pattern D, and I get 2m plus 2n minus 5 equals minus 5, and I get 2m minus 2n plus 7 equals minus 1. I add those two together and I get 4m plus 2 equals minus 6, so that 4m equals minus 8. But that again will be another minus number which we're not interested in, and so my answers are m equals 1, n equals 2, or m equals 1, n equals 4.